Hello. Long time no speak. Look at my new overlay. It's doing a thing. Could possibly do with being like a hell of a lot smaller actually. Let's change the properties to what's oh, buggering hell, I forgot enough. Okay, that'll just shrink it manually. Now move it roughly to the center, and there we go. Still no face cam because I'm still coughing quite a lot. But today we're flying a seemingly empty 748 with Cargolux, and I forgot to get the briefing. Flight briefing, please. Let's hop in. We'll get our payload sorted first, and our payload is 59.4. 45.4 it is. Our fuel requirements for today. Actually, if I just bring it up to a 0 fuel weight of that, I think I can get away with doing that. Can I get away with another one? No. Okay, so our fuel for today is 25.2 tons, so we'll bring 26.3. Manual select. Load that in. And now we'll start closing the cargo doors. Good. You can watch that go down as I just flick these boys into nav. Get the battery on, because we're running on external power right now. Nose is nearly closed. And I need to come up here for that. Fantastic. You're the worst headed in the world. Check admin. There we go. I had my mic muted that entire time. I apologize. People reckon you need 32 gigs of RAM to be invited, so if you don't have 32 gigs of RAM, you've probably not got an email from Microsoft. So we're going via Parim. Apologies for having... Yeah, no, I had the mic muted by mistake. I apologize. And then it's direct to Sierra Bravo. And then Whiskey 180 to Tezot. And then direct. So if I go root, activate, execute, legs are now in. That's all fine. No, something's not right here. VNAV. Oh, hang on, no, I completely forgot my init refs. Our reserves for today. Hey, NHF. Reserves are 11. Let's say 12 tons. Cost index is going to be 25. And our cruising altitude is, I believe, 380 even. 380. With no step. Thrust limit is going to be straight up maximum. We'll be taking off with the rather ludicrous flaps 20. Now, it's gonna say that we won't actually... I forgot to say it in the departure. 09, and we're going off the... Param to... No. Off 09, and then via Param to Echo. To Param. Execute that. It's deleted the takeoff speeds, which is fine. It's gonna say we're not gonna be able to actually take off, but I can tell you from experience we will be able to. So, checklist time. Oxygen set, flight instruments. I forgot the altimeter, which is 1008 hectopascals. .008. V2 is 160, so let's set that there. I happen to know that runway 09 is 089 on the heading. We'll set initial climb 10,000, and we'll arm LNAV VNAV. So pre-flight checklist complete, before start checklist, doors closed and locked. Yes, 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 yes. And the beacon needs to be set to both. There. These two can come on as well. At this point. We can start pressing up our buses and get the APU starting up. I took a break. Yes, I was ill. Hello, Renza and Adibu and Pa. I took a break because I was quite ill. Before taxi checklist is not required at this time. I was quite ill the last few days. Like, I've been laid up in bed more than I've been awake. 122.8 set on the radio, 2000 in the box. Fantastic. And seatbelts can go auto even though we are a cargo plane. Verify all the doors are closed. Doors are closed. Hello, 1174. We are in the 747 today. And it looks like we're still actually fueling. No, we're completely fueled. Our payload is on board. So what I can do is, with better pushback, we can pre-plan a pushback. Hang on. You go down. With better pushback, we can... There's a reason I did that just then. Runway 09 is going to be off in this direction. There's a reason I turned the radios way down just then. And that is the better pushback works via the radio. Oh no.
Alright, Captain, got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Does it swear something? No, it's just incredibly loud. So I got pushback ready. APU should now be online. It is. We can disconnect our GPU. And we can request push from better pushback. I'm gonna need X-Pilot up.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Just to make sure that everything's good. I'm apparently not receiving on 122.8. Why am I not receiving on 122.8? There we go. Oh, I was not transmitting on 1228. Whoops. Hey, Gogo. It's good to be back. So before taxi, NDI is not required. Recall has been... Well, it's not been checked, but I can check it now. Where's recall? Where is recall? We'll call recall good, because I can't remember where it is. Flight controls, we'll call that good, and the ground equipment is clear. And we'll need flaps 20 for takeoff. That is something we will worry about in a moment. Auto brakes need to be set to RTO, rejected takeoff, just in case we do reject.
Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Also, if Simulator Gaming's here, you might remember I said this airport was a bit derpy, with where the 747 would spawn. Yeah, that was because I had some prefab scenery and I shouldn't have. We now actually have the airport that I wanted in, which is completely 3D and lovely and correct. Matches up nicely with my charts, which, by the way, I will bring up our taxi chart here and just mark that too.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
So let's get the parking brake off.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
We are beginning to push. And while we're pushing back, let's just show you where we are. We're at Apron Charlie currently. To get to 09... Oh, hang on a second. This airport is... I'm pushing in the wrong direction. Hang on. No, stop. Abort, 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 abort. Stop. We'll call this now self-maneuvering.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
That was...
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Really quite silly. Packs, 1 and 3 can go on. Engine bleeds can go on as well. And let's get engines 3 and 4 lighting up. In theory, at least. Yes, disconnect, please. Three and 4 coming alive. I forgot to turn on the yaw dampers. They're quite important. Brake source like gen high press. That's all fine.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
And engines 1 and 2 are online, or 3 and 4 are online. Let's get 1 and 2 starting up. And just introduce some fuel. And we will need 4 notches of flaps, if memory serves. Yes. We have a signal that we're good for pushback. Let's get our taxi lights on. Just waiting for buses 1 and 2 to come online. Buses are online. And we can turn off the APU at this point and turn on pack 2. And that is 1 and 2 started. FMC message. Why is there an FMC message? There is no FMC message. Yeah, there is no FMC message. I actually forgot that on during my test I was using the prefab scenery that... Hang on a second. This doesn't feel right. XP realistic, you turned on. You are. Okay. Okay. Before takeoff checklist, flaps set 20. What's saying config gear? Gear is down and locked. And I'm gonna need Navigraph, or I'm gonna want Navigraph up here just to make sure that I'm not taking a wrong turn. Hey, Twitchy! The 747 is so awkward to maneuver. I don't know why it's giving me a gear config warning. Arm flight directors and auto throttle. Get the dome light on a bit just so that there's a bit more light going on in here. I am using a fake time because it is very much nighttime in Djibouti at the moment. This runs through Dream Engine, does it not? Yes, it does. By the way, this taxiway is only just big enough for a 747. All right. Let's get the lights going. Let's get transponder to Tara. And I'm going to do a slight backtrack just to take full length.
Approaching 09.
Because I'm gonna, I think, need full length here.
On runway 270 meters remaining.
I've never heard that before.
On runway 09.
Alright. Let's get up to 40% N1. And engage full toga. It's like forward pressure on the stick, and we are on our way. Did I remember to? Yes, I did. Do you remember Blaine was telling us that we wouldn't have enough speed to do a takeoff?
V1. Rotate.
Whoa.
V2.
There's a takeoff. Gear up. And we'll get Command A on. Because I nearly stalled it coming off the runway there. So, now... just pop in the full 380. Flaps 10. Flaps 5. Flaps 1. We're gonna just about to get to flaps up here at 240. Gonna hold a flaps 1 for a bit. Really should have brought terrain on this flight display and change the range on it, which I can't do from the pilot seat. Lovely. And now we'll go flaps up. And we'll retract the outboards and turn off the taxi lights. Strobe should have been on, that was my bad. Quick check, wing and logo lights can come off, they're not going to be necessary in the sky, and everything else is good. Takeoff checklist complete. And we
Altimeter setting.
Yes, thank you. We can blank the screen, coming through 7,000. Set standard, 7,300, checked once, twice, 3 times, we're good to go. So this is going to be a relatively short flight. We're basically going to get up to top of climb. And, I believe the plan is calling for about 20 minutes, half hour of cruise at a very high rate of speed, because this thing has 4 engines, and we're not running particularly heavy today. And we'll be descending via... is that a direct descent? Or can I find... there's no arrivals. Okay, so we're planning on runway 25. There's an RNAV in place. So let's plan our arrival for 25 if we can. We can go direct to final. Yeah. And also I would like the RNAV arrival chart as well as the airport chart. What's the difference between these two? I'm not seeing any difference between these two. There is no difference between these two, so I can unpin that one. So we are heading out now via the Parent 2 Echo departure, which is going to be, at this point, direct out to Param. Hello, Julian. And we're going to be climbing up to 38,000 feet, flight level 380. And I just want to make sure on VATSPY they're not doing something stupid. Which it seems like we're not. Just want to verify. Spoken with Charlie. Fantastic. Unfortunately, my ortho is a bit dodgy for this area. So, I apologize for dodgy ortho. There's nothing I can do about that. It hopefully won't be a problem for too much longer with the new Microsoft Flight Sim coming relatively soon. Apparently we're hiding according to my Discord. What's going on? What do you mean, Julian? Because I don't understand the question. Allows simulate. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Microsoft Flight Sim to get rid of ground clouds. On a completely unrelated note that is in no way related to Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, I will be taking a few days of a break at some point. I'm not sure when. I'm waiting on an email. When I get it, I will be taking a couple of days away from streaming and probably disappearing off Discord and everything as well. For reasons of secrets. Also, what do you guys think of the new Flight Sim overlay? You got tagged? You can't. What's going on today? Today we are flying from Djibouti, that's Eritrea. Djibouti, which is here, to Eritrea, which is here. Once we've done that, we're going to be flying from Eritrea to, I think here. Yes! Haha! Khartoum in Sudan. Which isn't one of the nicest places in the world to visit, but it is a country, and it is the second to last stop in Africa, and that's where we're going to be holding out for the day. So we're going to call it a day in Khartoum. Next week, short of plans changing, we'll be going up to Cairo, and then over into Israel. I just want to make sure that I got my routing correct here. Yeah, over to Israel, to Tel Aviv, and then to Amman in Jordan. That's going to be a very short hop. It's going to be somewhat comical. And I'm probably going to call it a day in Amman in Jordan, because after that it's a very... I don't want to say, no, it's not a very long trip, but it's a quite sizable trip from Amman to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, where absolutely nothing is happening on Thursday. Then we're down to Yemen, which is another longish hop. Then another long hop. There are going to be a few long hops here to Oman. And then rapid fire airports. Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait we can possibly do in one stream. Is kind of the plan right now, subject to change. If you're curious about the current state of the world tour, this is what the map looks like now. You can see there is a lot of green. There is a quite refreshing amount of green on the map. Everything west of Monte Carlo is done, Europe-wise. Actually, Luxembourg is just kind of north of Monte Carlo, but everything west of Monaco is done. Everything to the east we'll be doing in quite a few hops. And then we'll be off into Asia. India is going to have less legs than you see here. Australia is much the same. The Caribbean, however, is just going to be hilarious leg spam, because I want to visit as many islands as I can. And there is one, which is to... Is it Martinique? It's not Martinique. Is it Antigua and Barbuda? No. Montserrat? No. Guadeloupe? Where the heck is Anguilla? So if you're a plane nerd, you'll recognize the name Princess Juliana International Airport. You will therefore know what plane I'm planning on bringing in there. Hint. It's going to be memes. It's also a plane that doesn't go there anymore, unfortunately. Coming through flight level 270 for 380, we are going pretty good on our climb. We're approaching top climb here in it's not say, oh, it is 36 miles. 11:32 Zulu. Current time in game is 11:27 Zulu. So we're about what, 5 minutes out from top climb. It's a fun airport. It's one of the most entertaining airports. If you know the name of the airport, you know how fun it is. I will leave it at that. And looking forward to getting in there. Can I please change the range on this? No, that was decidedly the wrong direction. There we go. I've just realized that I forgot to change all of these to auto. That was not a good move on my part. Hey guys, let's have a look at the before descent checklist just to see if there's anything I need to be aware of. Recall notes, auto brake, landing data, VRF minimums, the approach briefing. Fun fact, this descent checklist is basically just approach briefing. Or brief the approach. So let's have a look at our landing airport here. We've got 3,000 meters to play with. Medium to large aircraft should continue taxiing to the end of the runway. So if I land runway 25 or runway 07, I will need to backtrack along 25 to get to the apron. That's good to know. Glide slope allows for 2,680 meters of effective runway length. And air carrier. And our minimums on the... Oh, good lord, that's quite a surprising decision height. 600 feet? Okay. Roast, very nice. I'm likely to have some chicken curry tonight, which is... I say I'm likely. It depends on how I feel. I might get takeaway instead. I've already had a chicken curry once today, so I'm not entirely sure. Coming up on 10 miles from top of climb now. Climbing through 340. And if we are lucky, we might be able to spot an Air France that is heading down to Reunion. Is he going to show up on mid-traffic radar at all? Plus 5.6. That shouldn't be the Air France, but it... Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn down the... Oh, the exterior sounds already basically... Okay. So let's turn down... Dream Engine Config Master. To that. And that should be a bit more manageable. I'm not seeing any planes behind me, so... That is indicating that might well be the Air France. Which it shouldn't be. I think that's a ghost ping. It's Sunday. Yeah, my parents were away all day. They came back just before 5 o'clock. Hence why the stream started slightly after 5. Ooh, that's some really tasty terrain out there. Like that. That is why I use ortho. Because you get a really good idea of what the world... Are those ground clouds? What the world looks like. Completely blanking the clouds that I think are beyond that. Like it just looks good. It just looks good. Comically, our landing ref speeds are still up for some reason. We're using auto brake 3 on landing, I think. Just because I don't trust this thing at an altitude of 7,000 feet with only 3 kilometers to play with. Not 100% sure I can get this stopped with anything other than auto brake 3. We'll also be using basically full reverse. Hey Scott, fun fact, I'm a lot better at flying planes than I am at driving tractors. Air France should be on my traffic radar. Why is it not? That ghost ping is very concerning. The Air France should be on my TCAS. Sad to see the 747 retired. Not in this paint scheme. Cargolux are upgrading their fleet currently. So, not only... What happens if I swap this to ICAS? Oh, it doesn't. Oh, it only wants to change between nav and PFD. Oh, that's a shame. I'd like to get that up on ICAS. So the 747 is by and large being retired for passenger services. I think Lufthansa. There's one airline, I think it's Lufthansa, have a 748 in passenger config. There's not many. And obviously some of the charter airlines like, is it Titan have a 747-8 as well? Some of the charter airlines that do a lot of travel for sports, like American sports teams will do this a lot. Will rent 747s a lot, and it's usually like I think it's Titan. It might be Atlas. One of the two. They just rent 747s. Those things will be in the air for a while. Obviously, you've got Air Force One, which I don't see them changing to anything other than a 747 for a long, long time. Simply because big. A lot of governments like using big governments like using 747s because big. It makes them seem impressive and not at all compensating for something or other. And then you've got the extremely rich Middle Eastern dudes who buy 747s and turn them into business jets. Which, I'm not kidding, that is an actual thing. You can get a 747 business jet, which I don't understand, but it is sad to see the 747 basically being retired. Air Force One could become the Airbus Beluga. No, the Airbus Beluga is made for a very specific purpose. The Beluga is a modified... The original Beluga was a modified A310. I think the new Beluga is a modified A320? I want to say it's an A320 that's been modified, maybe a 319. But it might be a 330, seeing as the Beluga is called the Beluga XL. The Beluga is not suited for being pressurized, actually. It's just not a design that can be pressurized very well. The obviously the flight deck can be, but the rest of the plane is not designed to be pressurized ever. So the Beluga is not likely to ever be used as like a business jet. Also, it's the US. They're not going to buy a European plane. They're going to keep buying 747s. Short of Boeing making an even bigger plane. Or just stopping production on the 747. They're not going to buy anything that's not made by Boeing. Like, straight up. Not going to happen. Air France should be ahead of us and to our right. I apologize, I didn't get to the mute key fast enough that time. But I'm not seeing Air France. It's Air France 796. Which is actually, comically, a 747. It's a queen of the skies. And probably the most famous 747. Subtype, the 747-400. Because I think a lot of people forget that the 747-8 even exists. Oh, GG with the cell call. Or cell call. Even uncle that worked on the Dreamliner. Very nice. The Dreamliner is a good plane. I'm kind of glad the Boeing are moving towards the twin engine side of wide bodies. Just bear with 1 sec. I'm glad that Boeing are moving towards the twin jets for wide bodies as opposed to the quad jet of the 747 or the not very often used anymore tri-jets. Which is a bit of a shame because I always loved tri-jets. There's an MD-11 in the works for X-Plane, and I am telling you now I will be buying it. Biggest building in the world? Yes. The Boeing production facility was the biggest building in the world and did have a habit of having weather systems inside. Which isn't exactly, you know, ideal for building planes. Or working in. You shouldn't need an umbrella indoors. Ooh, those mountains are pretty. They're indeed pretty mountains. And I would argue we're now in North Africa, like officially. I should not have zoomed the map in on the Bahamas, however, because I need to, and I've just remembered this, mark off the 620 kilometers that we're doing right now as being done on the tour map. And can't wait for the new flight sim for Xbox. You might not have just the one coming, Scott. Obviously, you'll have Microsoft Flight Sim because it's Microsoft. But, as well as that, I just need to verify some altitudes here. 10,900. As well as that Dead Stick, the bush flight simulator that I've been going on about. The developer today said that there is a chance of it going to Xbox and PlayStation in time, but that they're not like priority things for them. PC is the priority for Dead Stick for the foreseeable future, and probably always, because PC is a bit easier to develop for when it comes to flight sims, because you got most guys that'll fly on PC will have at the very least a flight stick, if not a HOTAS setup, if not a yoke. And Xbox controllers tend to limit things a lot. But he is the main dev is trying to, or the lead dev, I'll say. There's like 5 people working on the game. The lead dev is doing his damnedest to get the sim to have multiple control options available. So I need to find recall here. So just bear with. Is that recall? I'm presuming that's recall. Recall is checked. Notes are checked. Auto brakes will be set to 3. Landing data is not in yet. We can get that in fairly quickly. We'll be arriving runway 07 would be a much better fit, honestly. So I'm gonna change the plan here to be a runway 07 ILS. from just going straight on to final. Because I'm just looking at the weather, and it is 077 at 3 knots. Temperature of 30, dew point of 17, and air pressure of 1011. So we are much better off going with runway 07 with the ILS. That one? Actually, should I go for the RNAV? Let's see if the... Oh, good lord. Why are there so many? Actually, if I go for the ILS, I can check what the first waypoint on my chart is. And the first waypoint on the chart is 12 miles out. I also want to just pin this and unpin the right 25 RNAV. So is there D12? No. In which case, is there another options I could use here? I mean, we could go via Asmara. Yeah, let's go via Asmara. Via Asmara, which is just going to introduce a loop that isn't needed, but let's see what that does. That does something it shouldn't do. There we go. And I think we're top of climb, or top of drop. That loop appears to be in. Top of descent is, I think, behind us. Oh yeah, we're descending. And we need 115. Looking for getting a keyboard for it when it comes out. Honest opinion here, I think you'd be better off getting a PC, Scott. If you can afford one. Get a PC, a decent one, and like a HOTAS stick. HOTAS setup. You will appreciate that far more. Plan. Legs. Has that put the loop in? Kind of. Good enough for me. Plus 66 over there. Is that the Air France? I'm not seeing anything 6,000 feet above us over there. Don't have the money right now. Yeah. But, PC is usually a better option. Just sending rather slowly. Now's a good time to check our approach ref. We're gonna land flaps 30 because I don't trust this. And our minimums on the ILS, because these are going to have different minimums. We are category Delta. So our minimums are 279 feet. Just want to make sure that is on radio. Yes, so we'll set our minimums at 280 feet. And this is the annoying bit, where I actually need to tune in the ILS as well. 1103, 11, 11. That's a VHF. I don't need that to be... No. Oh yeah, it's Navrad. IAS 10372, perfect. Another thing that was always interesting was Concorde. There is one available for X-Plane, but it's not finished yet, so I don't really want to get it. Plus, it is seemingly a bit of a pain in the butt to fly, and I'm not competent enough to do that. And we're actually going to be descending down to 9,800 feet on this. Transition altitude is 115, so 11,500. So we'll say our transition level is flight level 120. Which should be available over here somewhere. Where would that be? Menu... Performance? No, it'll be in VNAV. Speed transition level... No, that's not it. And descent alt. Cruising altitude, climbing altitude. No. Oh. Where is it? Is it under approach? No. We'll say transition about 120. It wasn't just Boeing that had one. Lockheed Martin were working on a supersonic transport as well. There were a few different companies working on SSTs in the US, supersonic transports. None of them got off the ground because what Airbus, as it turned out, what the Concorde Corporation, I guess, discovered was that, number one, there wasn't actually much of a market for supersonic jets, because Russia had Konkordsky, yes, the Tupolev 144, which was built to the same design as the Concorde because they stole the design, just with canards in the front, and had a hideous safety record. It just kept breaking down, and having quite dangerous problems exist because, you know, Soviet Russia. But what the British and French found out by making the Concorde was that, due to the fact that supersonic flight over land was banned because nobody really wanted a rolling sonic boom going around, which is what Concorde effectively was. The Concorde was limited to supersonic only over the oceans. So the only actual route that he could do was basically London to New York. Granted, a couple took off, I think, from Manchester. There was one that did a tour painted blue for Pepsi, and that had a speed limit put on it, because, as it turns out, the Concorde was painted white for a very good reason. That reason was that the white paint was specifically made to be heat resistant, and painting it blue for Pepsi for some promotional thing was a terrible idea, because instead of the Mach 2.2 for cruise, it was limited to Mach 1.44 or something like that. It was very, very heavily limited on what it could actually cruise at, for heating reasons. Now, British Airways and Air France weren't the only two airlines to actually order Concorde, which is kind of one of those things that people think. People seem to think that the only two companies that actually wanted the Concorde were British Airways and Air France. When in fact, neither of them wanted Concorde. They basically were sold Concorde for £1 a piece. Basically for free, just a nominal sum. The actual company that wanted Concorde was Pan Am. And a few of the American airlines, because they figured, hey, our transcontinental flights would be really bloomin' quick if we can do them supersonic. Yeah, the planes then got banned from flying supersonic over land and were hideously inefficient with fuel at subsonic speeds. So, because the British and French had built the planes, and BA and Air France at the time were owned by the British and French governments, respectively, they were forced to take on Concorde. And the transatlantic flights kind of came from that, and just the limitations the Concorde had. It was, like, it had noble ideas behind it. Like, the plan was that, you know, to get places faster would be great, even if it cost a bit more, because people are impatient. And, we actually now have our VREF minimums in, and our approach briefing is completed. We'll set altimeters on. The one, yes, the one that had the issue where it crashed, took off from Charles de Gaulle, crashed about 5 miles off the end of the runway, I want to say. And that theoretically wasn't actually an issue with Concorde. Because there was a bit of... Why are you not going to the next waypoint? Hang on. Why are you not going to the next waypoint? You go direct... Execute that. Oh, because LNAV got disengaged for some reason. There we go. I must have accidentally hit the button that turns off LNAV. Yeah, but I met on the runway, tore through one of the tires and ripped into the fuel tank. Because it was pinged. We are 1.3 nautical miles right where we want to be. That's not good. Hopefully the plane's going to be nice on the rest of the way down. Altimeter we'll need for the ground is 1011. I'll try my best to remember that, and I'll probably forget. So, where are we currently? Should be on the way into AS. Yes. So we're already here. We've already done all of this. And our next bit of work is going to be taking this vector out, doing the spin around, and coming in on the ILS. And after that, it's just going to be a matter of parking the plane up. Why are you so far off route? Oh, because you're... Oh, okay, you're actually not off course. You're trying to correct. That makes sense. Not much longer. As long as they can keep it running. The Chinook is one of these planes that unless... Or planes. One of these aircraft that unless somebody builds something better, it ain't gonna be going anywhere anytime soon. It proves too useful as a transport. It's like the Mi-26 that is just a hideously large helicopter that has been known to transport via sling an Mi-26. There's a Russian chopper that is so ridiculously powerful it can literally just haul another one of itself underneath. Just making sure everything's set up here for landing. Auto brake 3 just to get stopped. Speed brake can be armed as and when is necessary. Flaps are coming out in due course. Lights will be coming on in due course. Let's turn the seatbelt sign on for our wonderful cargo. By the way, you can tell this is a cargo plane because there's actually no door to the cabin. True to life, this thing would actually just... Hey! I got it right off the top of my head. Brilliant. Mi-26, yeah. Hit the mute button multiple times there, I apologize. Yeah, that's just a hideously powerful helicopter. I think it's got like a turbojet engine. Or something like that. Ooh, this is pretty valleys. Bit of a shame about the few ground clouds there are, but pretty valleys nonetheless. Seriously, I'm genuinely kind of annoyed. Wasn't that a mod in FS17? It might have been. I'm genuinely kind of annoyed that not many people who stream flight sims come around this part of the world, because it's a really bizarre, I guess, landscape you get. It's almost unnatural, even though it is completely natural. And I kind of like that. Look through 17,500 feet. Everything's looking good still. I haven't needed to use the Geneva lever yet, which is even better. So the airport should be directly ahead of us. I think unfortunately we're not actually able to look for buildings. I did a quick check before I did this flight. And unfortunately, the best scenery available is the default scenery for X-Plane. And it's from X-Plane 9, which is completely flat. So I'm literally just looking for a landing strip, effectively. Do we have the Ospreys? We do not have V-22s in Ireland. I don't know about the UK. Landy would be the better person to ask about V-22s in the UK. By the way, Scott, and anybody who watches Farm Sim, I don't know if Landy's said this yet, but there's the airport. Yeah, there's the airport there. And as you can see, it's a bit, unfortunately, barren. There's no buildings. But Landicube will only be streaming on, I think he said it was Monday and Tuesday of this week. Yeah, he's gonna be able to stream tomorrow and Tuesday, and then that's it for a little bit from him. Due to his personal commitments. But I can't recall if he told you what exactly they are or not. So I'm being a bit cautious. A bit vague. I'm not sure what this is on the TCAS here. There shouldn't be anything on TCAS. There's nothing within probably 200 miles of us. Although Dubai Ground is online currently, which is nice of them. As well as Lahore Center and Amman Control. And most of Europe. Personal commitment is one word for it. I mean, I legit can't remember if I told you guys what is going on or not, so. Hence my vagueness. Your internet doesn't like streams sometimes? Yeah, I like doing these X-Plane streams. I know they're not the most successful streams on the channel, and not the most successful content, and you know, YouTube probably doesn't like it. You told the video viewers don't know about streams. So, well, if you said it in video, then it's okay to say. So, Landy is doing a married. I think it's the end of the week. And due to all the stuff that goes around that, he is going to be very busy. I like how the buildings are there because of the ortho. He's going to be quite busy for all of this. There's a 747. No, that's a 737. I want to say it's a 73 on the ground there. Everything's ever so slightly offset in this area. You can see the real world runway markings just slightly offset from the in-game ones. Yeah, he's got a busy week ahead. His mother's over as well. Yeah, that's one of the many. What the hell is that mess? It's one of the many commitments he has. What the? You do you. Plane. That's. Just gonna bring up the chart to show you what it should look like. So this is what it should look like. That's what it does look like. Not very similar. I want to bring the airspeed down now to 250 knots plus. Actually, we'll go to 240 knots. Just want to verify that everything's still fine. Yes. So, approach altimeters set to 1011 in a moment. Do you want to get final verification? Yes, 1011. Do I need the Geneva levers? Yes, I do. That is way beyond flight D10. Maybe the plane knows a shortcut. It doesn't, but I'm kind of glad that I've got this extra space to slow down because I need to get below 250 for, Oh, it's doing the loop correctly! Oh, good lord, it's really cutting the corner. It's doing the loop somewhat correctly. It's just making a hames of it. Let's get our landing lights on, the inboards. Yeah, let's get them all on, why not? And I'm not entirely sure we're high enough to make this approach. What have I done? Speed brakes are extended. Yes, I'm aware. Altimeter is set. Speed brake is now armed and cannot be disarmed because SSG is weird. Okay, let's arm the localizer. Just the localizer, please. Do I use the messenger at all for the Rainbow Day Facebook? I do. I just don't get many messages on it. I'm much easier to contact. Honestly, I'm much easier to contact on Discord. Okay, localizer captured. Let's get slowing down to 220. Actually, let's get slowing down to flaps 1 speed. Flaps 1. Let's get slowed down to 170. Flaps 5. Flaps 10. Let's get gear down. Flaps 20 because the plane didn't slow down enough in time. In fact, let's just go down to we're at flaps 30 because I am going to hand fly the plane the rest of the way. Okay, runways in sight. Was that the Oh God Dave's flying now buzzer? Pretty much, yeah.
Approaching 07.
Hey, Seven.
Sync rate, sync rate, sync rate. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20.
Deep landing, 2,100 meters remaining.
Full reverse. 80 knots, reverse idle. Not the worst landing I've ever done. Right. While I'm taxiing in here, I'll start planning the next flight. Departing Asmara for Khartoum. We'll stay in the Cargolux. First person to put 2 numbers in chat gets the number of the flight, because we're going to have Romy Delta at the end. Oh, I want 2 numbers. 7-3. Cargolux 7-3, Romeo Delta will be our next flight. And we will have 0 passengers on board because this is a cargo flight. That runway no longer exists, so please ignore runway 33.
Approaching 30.
Or 30, whatever. That runway is no longer active. Hey Steve, how's it going today, dude?
On runway 25.
On a pre-file. Gonna be 360. Estimated time under 1 hour. Oh, okay. Yeah, file that. I don't want my briefing pack. Oi, briefing, gimme. There you go. I'm feeling better better than I have done for a little while. Still not 100%. Still a touch peaky. But better than I felt for a little while. Currently taxiing at about 40 miles per hour. Am I still in that flight? No, okay. I'm on the mend. Yeah, that's really the important thing for me. Navigraph, airport diagram, please. So there's the taxiway I'm looking for. Get this cleaned up. No, that needs to stay. No, that needs to go on. And that can come off. This can go all the way over to standby. And that's us cleaned up. And the speed brake can be retracted now. Finally finished your map. Sweet, dude. The joy of this airport is everything is self-navigating or self-maneuvering. You also get a good idea of just how long the bloomin' 747 is. By doing a bit of self-maneuvering like this. Be very handy if there was a 737 here for the sake of a comparison. Alright, Steve, no rush. I've got something in the pipeline, or I've got something that's going to keep me occupied for a little while in terms of, like, things what I need to do. Right, that'll do there. Set parking brake. Forgot to turn on the APU. Oi! Parking brake set. Forgot to turn on the APU. We'll get that running. And while we're doing that, I can log out of VATSIM real quick. And log in as... it is Cargolux 73 Romeo Delta, yes. Hopefully the little disagreement it's going to have isn't a big issue. 7-3 Romeo Delta. It looks like my pre-file went through. My pre-file went through. Fantastic. Okay. We should have APU running correctly now. APU gens on, APU bleed on. And we can kill all 4 engines. I just check that VATSIM has in fact got my information correct. It should be in 1 or 2 more refreshes. In fact, I can check my flight plan through here, can't I? Fetch from server. Hey! Oh, that's actually really convenient. Like, thank you very much, Steve. So let's hide the yolks real quick. And we can actually get set up for a new flight. So let's see, our cargo payload on this flight is going to be we'll say 75%. It should give us a zero fuel weight of 289. Slightly lower, 291. That is actually perfect. Fuel required is 27.1. So throw in 27.7. And why is our zero fuel weight increasing? Reserves on this flight are, oh good lord, 13, 15, that's a 7. About 15 tons of fuel are in reserve. Costing index 25. Cruising altitude is going to be 360 for this leg. And our route is... I can just use XP11 for this. Hotel Alpha Sierra to, and I'm not making this up, Hotel Sierra Sierra Sierra. And we are Cargolux 7-3 Romeo Delta. 7-3 Romeo Delta. Planning on taking off on runway 7. Yeah, the airport we're going to is legitimately just HIS. Okay, waypoints. Direct tests on. Direct Kilo Sierra Lima. Direct Dendi. Direct Tabco. And then the Tabco 1 Bravo in. Fantastic. Route, activate, execute, legs. Just want to verify that's all good. And departure will be via runway 7 or runway 07. And our init ref here. Thrust limit we can go probably for 10% D-rate. And we will again be taking off flaps 20 because that's just SOP in a 747. Why is our V1 323? No, that's not correct. Our V1 should be 123, not 323. Always verify. It is, however, saying that we won't be able to get off the ground with a 10% D-rate, so let's go full toga. No, that's 120, you dumb plane. Still saying we won't get off the ground. We can get off the ground with full toga. Runway wind is, if I can find that, 9-4 at 3. Never mind. And a reduction will actually reduce at 3,000 feet. AJL. Yep, that's all perfect. Transition altitude is actually not 6,000 because that's not actually possible. Can you see why 6,000 is transition altitude is not possible? Our transition altitude is actually 11500. That's all fine there. And we'll go max rate. So we're gonna set a initial climb of 140. That's all correct, and I just need my init ref for takeoff, which is 148. I'll add 20 to it and give us 168. Just a safe takeoff speed. Is everything good there? Yes. I'll just go to the engine page here. So, with that all said and done, let's get 3 and 4 started back up. Because our fueling should now be complete. Fueling is complete. Let's get 3 and 4 under starters orders. All 3 packs are running, by the way. They're not drawing much. 3 and 4 can get started now. Three and 4, by the way, are these 2 engines on the right wing from the cockpit. Left wing, as you're looking at it, dead on. You can see 1 and 2 are not spinning, because that's an easy way. Just need to wait for these 2 to click. Which should be in a moment. There's 3 and 4. 1 and 2 can come on now. One and 2 coming alive. TCAS just transponder, please. Turn off traffic there. And just verify 1011, 1011 verified. Fantastic. And I need to change the flight plan here. So just bear with me. And my call sign is Cargolux 7-3 Romeo Delta. I'm liking the new overlay I have. Makes a lot more sense. The ETA, by the way, does not update until I'm in cruise, and is in Real Zulu, I believe. Which conveniently is the time that Ireland is using currently. So engines 1 and 2 are now alive. We can start setting the flaps. Four bops, 4 flaps 20. And our trim required is 7.3. Auto brakes to RTO. LNAV, VNAV armed. Flight director on. Everything is perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to taxi and take off, and then I'm going to nip AFK for a moment. Yes, I'm aware that the gear is somehow wrong. Is there another way out of here? New flight, sim brief, that one. That, and that's it actually, wow. APU can come off. Not needed. Ooh, we ran onto the grass. Not good. So, as with when we landed, we're going to be doing a backtrack, or as with when we initially took off even. We're going to be doing a backtrack, and it's going to be a longer one this time. We're not just going to be pulling UE on the runway. Let's get the transponder to TARA. Get the landing lights on. Fun little fact. In an Airbus, you do not turn the landing lights on to take off. Or you don't have to. In a Boeing, you do.
Approaching.
In an
2,
Airbus,
5.
Clear left, clear right. In an Airbus, because I was flying the A319 earlier, the taxi light actually has a takeoff setting.
On runway 25.
So I'm going to want to fax. I'm going to want to fax control here. Hey Pa, you've missed Steve. Steve has run off to do dinnery things, I think. Bit more beans there. Auto brake RTO, flaps set, we're good. I'm going to be using full tog 110%. Can reset that now. If it will let me. It will not. So can I set this to 0 and it'll go away? Yes. Traffic can... TCAS should be on. Oh, it's not set to TARA. And the weather radar can come on again. The weather radar in this does function, it's just that we don't have much weather at the moment. By the by. Tomorrow morning, by the way, you can hopefully expect a video from me. I was sent Shamrock today by Oxy. There was some technical faffery going on yesterday where all sorts went wrong, and it just was a mess. So I only got Shamrock today. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. So expect a video on Shamrock Valley and Farming Simulator 19 tomorrow. Right, let's get this spun around.
30 remaining.
More than enough room to turn around in. See, look, tons of room. This is a pretty beastly plane, I must admit. Right. 40% of one is already reached. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, slight forward pressure on the stick.
$80 knots.
80 knots. Release the pressure.
V1. Rotate.
Oh, she's not jumping as
V2.
much as she did last time. Gear up. Okay, that is quite an impressive sight, a 747 just straight up struggling. Let's get this up to 360. The plane's not entirely sure which altitude it wants to go to. Or which speed it wants to go to, just yet. It'll figure it out in time. And... wait, why hold? Not intercepting. No. What have you done? Okay. Oh wait, no, 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 hold. Okay, let's set heading 262. Follow that heading, please. Flaps 10. Flaps 5. Flaps 1. We're back at LDAV. Flaps up. Again, I forgot to turn on the strobe. Whoops. I did a flight last night on VATSIM from Madrid to Barcelona in A319, and I ended up kind of intentionally, because I didn't want to cause issues. I ended up behind a guy, also in an A319, TAP Air Portugal A319. I was flying Iberia. And he decided, I think he forgot to be fair, but he decided it was a good idea to fly the entire flight with his transponder on standby. So, whoops. So I had absolutely no clue where he was at any given time. And Cargolux 7-3 Romeo Delta is now in the air. If you want to, if you have VATSPY or anything, you search for Cargolux 7-3 Romeo Delta, you will find me. Those lights can go off now as well. Why is the off position for those up and the off position? Oh, just turn them on. Never mind. I'll be back in a couple of moments. Please enjoy the wonderful view of our 747 departing while I'm away. And I am back. Anybody else heading to Khartoum at the moment? No. Let's head. Oops. Wrong window focus. There we go. Inside the cockpit, going through. Transition. Everything's looking good. Forgot to blank the ICAS. There we go. And we'll be in Khartoum. Hey, Liam. We'll be in Khartoum in a little under an hour. Actually, a little over because I don't have the. Goodbye. Oh my god. Fun fact, I have pulled it down to show you and I realized I don't have the webcam on. I have a track hat clip that velcros onto the side of my headphones. The reason that I have it velcroed is because it's actually way better having it velcroed. We're squawking Tara. Yeah, Tara is on. Oh, above below doesn't matter. That's all fine. That's all fine. That's all fine. So what I want to do. Oh God, why are you attacking me with what did I do to deserve this punishment? Oh, that chart is not geo-referenced. Well, that's. Use the Pro Track. I have the same Mexican. Super useful for like ETS. Okay, so we're coming in on the Tabco 1 Bravo. Where's the Tabco 1 Bravo? So Tabco at or above. It'll go. Right, first things first, let's check the weather in Khartoum. 32010. And the runways available in Khartoum, if you please, Navigraph, are 18 and 36, so we'll go for 36, which means this entire approach is fine. Go RNF 36. Actually, scratch that. Via the Tabco 1 Bravo, which doesn't seem to be available here. Why is the Tabco 1 Bravo not showing up? Right. IS-36. There's the Tabco 1 Bravo. Tabco. Actually, it should be the RNAV 36. By Borog, we'll add that to the route. We can change that in a moment. Okay, erase all of that. RNAV 36 Borog. Blah! Keep making that mistake. RNAV 36 via Borog from the Tabco 1 Alpha Tabco transition. There we go. Check this to make sure there's no discons. That is fine. And I'm gonna guess that our top of climb and top of descent are very close to one another. They're quite close to one another. That's kind of comical. But that is the entire flight planned in now. And I can tell you now that our progress top climb is in 39 nautical miles. And we're looking at just over an hour and 2 minutes until our arrival. Everything is good. There we go. Is that recall there? No, it's a... Where the hell is recall? Oh, it's that one. Okay. If I actually get the VR of the airport, I'm presuming, yes, 112.1. Navrad, can I tune one of you to 112.1, please? Invalid entry. Oh, is it because it needs to be 112.10? Yes. So if I then turn on VOR right, that will give us an idea of where we are with regards to the airport. Because that VOR that I've just switched on there is the airport's VOR. I might as well just double check here that the... we're using an RNAV. We don't actually need an ILS frequency. Back to the progress page, which annoyingly is on all three FMCs or FMSs. No, FMCs. In reality, you would have three different sets of information on all three. And this one would have a bit more available than these two. These are not all identical in real life. I'm pretty sure the Khartoum FIR has the most flights over it right now than it has in a little while at 2. We have Speedbird 65, a 744 heading from Heathrow to Nairobi, and Cargolux 73 Romeo Delta, which is us, heading from Asmara to Khartoum in a Boeing 748. Going up in the world. I know. I was thinking just then about, I might do another flight after this. Off camera. No, I can't because I've got work to do. Actual work to do. You do RTX 2080 Ti's, that's overkill. What's the runway like in Khartoum? 2,980 meters. However, we have taxiways Alpha Bravo Delta, or Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta, Echo, Fox, and Golf. So we are going to be fine for all of that. Our minimums on our RNAV today are 440 feet. So we'll actually just throw that in now. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because it seems to have confused the plane slightly. Can I turn that off and unconfuse the plane? No, it's just going to be confused for the remainder. Oh, that's... that's much more like it. Lots of work to do, indeed. It's going to be one of those evenings for me. I think before doing anything else, I'm going to get a takeaway. Because I am beginning to get a bit peckish, and with as much work as I need to do, I'm probably better off getting a takeaway than cooking something myself. Also, why are there clouds at like 40,000 feet? I get that they're cirrus, but in reality cirrus clouds are at about 34,000 at most. You wouldn't really get many cirrus at 40,000 feet. You definitely wouldn't get nimbus. Or are they nimbus or cumulus? They're cumulus. Why are there cumulus clouds at 30... I'm going to say they're at about 34,000 feet. They're way too high. Those would top off really at about 24,000, 25,000. Cumulonimbus, big Storm clouds, yeah, they go up to 40,000 feet. But they're weird and funky and have bizarre rules. And some interesting stuff going on there. So Eritrea, where we've just left, I can give you a couple of fun facts about Eritrea. It is one of the most restrictive countries in the world. It's actually regarded as being in the same realms as North Korea for like restrictions on the press and all this kind of stuff. Do I need to tell you about Sudan and everything that's been going on in Sudan? Because South Sudan didn't exist that long ago. South Sudan is a relatively new country. And, ooh, the map I have is showing the disputed area. That's kind of cool. There's oil fields in this area, so both South and both North and South, both Sudan and South Sudan actually claim this is their territory. And it looks like there might be... No, that's just a river that's making the border a bit gory. Oh, good grief. That's going to be hell when the river changes course over time. Oh, God, that border war. Oh, that's... Ooh. They apparently haven't figured out this line either. Oh, yeah, both rather lovely holiday destinations today. Djibouti, I hear, is quite nice, though. And from Sudan, we're going to Egypt, which has pyramids, I am told. Also, this is a fun bit of the map here. So, this area just beside the Nile River, or the Red Sea, this kind of triangle-ish of land is claimed by both Sudan and Egypt. And this little trapezoid over here, right beside it, so this bit is claimed by both countries, this bit is claimed by neither. Both Sudan and Egypt are adamant that the other country owns this bit of land. Such is its immense worth that they literally want the other person to have it, and they've been having a prolonged disagreement about who actually owns this bit of land. As it stands, it isn't this is a bit of land that isn't in a country. Luckily, nobody lives here. Yeah, it's called Bir Tawil. And it looks like there's somewhere here, but if I bring up Google Maps in Bir Tawil, I can conveniently use my map that I need to update anyway. So we've been to Asmari, we're on the way to Sudan. If I go to Bir Tawil, here we should see no settlements whatsoever. Oh, hang on a second, is there... Why is there a mosque in Bir Tawil? So, this is Bir Tawil, which, as I've just explained, is claimed by neither Sudan nor Egypt, because there's nothing there. It's just desert. The bit immediately to the east of it, the both countries claim, quite good farmland. Bir Tawil, completely useless. No resources whatsoever. Thank you for opening my Facebook. That is incredibly useful. Why have I been mentioned? You. There we go. So, top of descent is in 86 miles. And we have a mandatory 3,000 to hit, so let's get the... let's get the altitude selected, ticking down to... Couldn't have done that if I tried. So, there's where we are. There's the selected altitude. All the way down at 3,000. We are at 36,000 currently. Flight level 360. All you know about Egypt is the person you know who went on holiday was advised strongly to not leave the camp a bit. Egypt has had a few issues lately as well, yes. That said, nowhere near as bad as Sudan. Or South Sudan. Or Uganda. Or what the heck? Ooh, farms! That's pretty neat. Top of descent, 74 nautical miles away. There it is. On our little ticker. Really glad, by the way, that I didn't do... I could have, in theory. I didn't do Cross the Pond yesterday because I'm... Number one, I just wanted to chill yesterday. And number two, I'm not confident with ATC yet. Still struggling to find the willpower to force myself to talk to ATC. Which is a bit of an issue on VATSIM. Speed brake should not be armed. Can you, like, disarm? There's surely a button to disarm the bloomin' speed brake in this thing. No, it's just permanent. Okay. Let's just ignore the speed brake armed message. So I love when I said, oh, I'm scared of ATC. Almost everybody who was watching left. We'll get down on the ground, and that'll be it for the day. Top of descent now at about 50 miles. Sorry, 60 miles. Maybe they're ATC. Maybe. Who knows? It's something that I legitimately need to work on, and it's just... I'll need to force myself someday, because I'm just blah. Weatherhead's good. We're at 50 miles from top descent. If I didn't already have a plan, this is where I'd be planning my arrival, just to make sure that everything was going to be kosher. But everything is in, and everything is planned, and the plane will descend by itself. Talking to people, one of my many faults. Yeah, that's it, Mexican. That's exactly it. Like it's almost a paralyzing fear of screwing up that's preventing me from doing it. Because I don't want to be one of these idiots that goes on VATSIM and then just does everything wrong. I want to be at least vaguely competent. And that's kind of my big downfall, is that I at times can be too much of a perfectionist and too shy for my own good. So I'll get there eventually. I'll need to, because Europe's usually online when I'm streaming. And parts of the US as well. So for example, right now, I can show you the VATSPY map. Hey, Link Simo. Right now we're over here. There's ATC in Tel Aviv currently. That's Herzliya, which I've never heard of. But Amman Control is online. If we were flying to Amman today, we'd be talking to them. Akrotiri approach and departures online. There's going to be a flight where we just will not be using ATC, and that is going to be... Actually, there's going to be a couple. One of them is going to be the Inter-Cyprus flight, because it's just too stupid to try and do. I think we're flying into Akrotiri for Southern Cyprus. I can't remember off the top of my head. That is Athens. No, that's Thessaloniki. Athens Control is not online currently. As the VATSIM server just crashed. No. Bucharest Ground is online. Then you come up here. Budapest Control. Most of Austria's online. Wien Radar. The Vienna Approach, Departure. And whatever the heck is next to it. That is Bratislava Approach, Departure. What am I flying? Boeing 747-8F. Under the Cargolux banner. München Radar is online, as well as München Approach Departure. More importantly, Berlin Approach Departure is online, as well as Bremen Radar. Warsaw Radar is online, and Warsaw Approach Departure, and Warsaw Tower as well. Copenhagen Tower is online. Oslo Approach. Stockholm Approach. And that is, I think, that's Bergen, where we're not going. Riga is online for Tower and Approach. Moscow Approach is online. I'm not looking forward to China, by the way, because they use meters. Should point that out. Karachi Center is online. Dubai we won't actually be touching, which is nice. And it's just occurred to me that this time next week is World Flight. They should be somewhere in the South Pacific. I may run into trouble next week and run into an event. If World Flight is anywhere near my flight path next week, what I will do is I will just run some offline flights, because I don't want to interfere with a massive flotilla of planes, number one, and number two, I don't want like an hour's delay on the ground waiting for taxi clearance. That has happened on World Flight multiple times. I don't want to be experiencing that. I don't want to be dealing with like massive delays due to like a million and one things, or like several hundred planes all trying to get into one airport at once, and they're usually quite small airports. Something though that I will promote is World Flight. Now, I know one of the teams is Simfest UK. They'll be streaming it on Twitch for the duration. They have a 747-400 cockpit. Basically all from real parts. And they will be using British Airways procedures and methods and stuff throughout the week-long flying event. It's not just going to be 2 people, it's a team of, I think, up near 20 at the come in for it. There's a few that come in from around the world. 1 or 2 that have flown the 747 in real life. One that used to be a British Airways captain in real life, in some of the planes that this sim is made out of, which is kind of cool for them and kind of cool for him. And we are just reaching top of descent now in 5 miles. So if you just keep an eye on this, top of descent is going to be just before Dendi. 4 miles. Keep an eye on this. It will start automatically going down. I will not touch a thing. You can see my mouse cursor. It's not going to budge. So my mouse cursor just disappeared. There we go. There's top of descent. There was nothing that I could have clicked. Plane is now automatically descending on its way down to 4,000 feet. That's rather fast, plane. What the hell are you doing? Is it just that you fell behind the descent path? I get the feeling is that you fell behind the descent path and now you're trying to catch up. Would I be correct in saying that? It's looking like that's the case. Either way, 2,000 feet per minute descent isn't all that bad. Inbound Dendi, 10 miles. Tabco in 15. Tabco, I think, is the start of our arrival. Yes, it is. So I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess. No. Here's where we are. Coming up to Dendi. There's Tabco. There's our arrival, which unfortunately won't overlay on the map. Tabco we will hit at or above 100, flight level 100. SS510 between flight level 100 and 5,000 feet. And then Borog at or above 4,000 feet, but a maximum of 250 knots. Realistically, anywhere along this line, we're going to be under 250 knots. Flight level 100 is usually the limitation for... you have to be below 250 knots below flight level 100 or 10,000 feet. As for the ILS, or the RNAV, Borog 4,000, and then we're at a mandatory 3,000 at Sierra 504, and then we're at mandatory 3,000 at Sierra 502 to allow for a 3-degree glide slope into runway 36, which has a 440 foot minimums. So let's set that standard. Let's set our baromins decision height at 440 foot. There we go. Got a 1 knot headwind, so no factor. Weather conditions on the ground are 30 degrees Celsius, dew point of 1 degree Celsius, so it is incredibly hot and incredibly dry, despite the fact that it is 7:30 at night, and it is actually nighttime in Khartoum. Surface winds are 10 knots from 320 degrees true, or 316 magnetic. Visibility is pretty much perfect. You can see well over 10 kilometers, over 10 statute miles. No rain at all in the area, and an atmospheric pressure of 1,011 hectopascals. That is valid as of 190. Okay, 1930 Zulu. So that's valid as of 18 minutes ago. 32010 Cav, okay, 3001 Q101 1011 no sig. Perfect. Original meter at the station. 1930 Zulu. Wait, is today the 27th? Yeah, so that is a 14-minute old meter. 32010 Cav, okay, 301 1011 no sig. Perfect. Okay, really nice weather to be going into. 10 knots. Partial crosswind isn't nice, but it will be fine. It's not a huge amount. The crosswind limit in this, I think, 40 knots. Thereabouts. Oh, this has the hold planned. No. Legs hold at Sogix can go, because that is not needed. No, get rid of the hold at Sogix. Clear. Hang on. What? Don't hold it so... Okay, you're not holding it Sogix. You're just being very obnoxious and not telling me that you're not going to hold it Sogix. That's all fine. Hold it Sogix is not necessary. Why? Is there a limit on Sogix in the chart? Sogix minimum holding altitude 5,000 above. So if I go /5,000 or above. What the hell? Okay, Sierra 0508. This has all gone wonky and I don't know why. 508. Really gonna be 4,000 above. Here we go. That's for the runway. Looking at 2,980 meters at 127 feet. Okay, perfect. We can go auto brake too. And we can go idle reverse as well once we get on the ground. Perfect. Is there anything I'm forgetting? No. So from Sogix, is this 00510, which comically isn't in my legs page. This is all sorts of screwed. We're at 1325 Zulu in game. Expecting Sogix 1327 Zulu, followed by Sierra 0510 at 1331 Zulu. Expecting arrival at 1344 Zulu, so in about 20 minutes time. And it is... We'll need to worry at... Why are we so... Hang on a second. Something's gone wrong here. No. 250 knots, please. Or more. 250 knots... 5,000 or above. Have you changed the... No, you've not changed the limit. Why have you not changed the speed limit? Oh, screw it. You can come into 200 knots. I've given up on trying to argue with this plane. It's just going to do things. So now entering the racetrack will form. Should we need to do a missed approach? The missed approach is zip. Climb to 4,000 to CRSR 530 on course 357 degrees. Turn right direct to Sogex, join the holding or as directed. Max 230 knots. So we will form a bit of a racetrack. Here we can zoom in now. What is the plane even trying to do here? Hey, Mr. Jingles. It's an awkward word. The plane is just doing this is the problem with the SSGs 4.8. It sometimes just decides to do things. And there is nothing I can do to try and resolve the fact that it sometimes just does stuff. Like, for example, the fact that it's pointing in its completely arbitrary direction at the moment. That has nothing to do with any waypoints. Why are you doing this? I'll have a look. Can you just go direct to Sierra 508, please? Because I think the problem is that you just got very confused and you don't actually know what you're trying to do anymore. Flaps 1. Why are you doing flaps? It was fine before it was fine at 330 knots. Problem is, we're now 214. Also, this is a 747. Pop. It does have yokes, I just choose not have them visible a lot of the time. And we will go. Are you drifting again, plane? Just. Just turn on all the lights. All of the lights can come on. Speed brake is already armed because it doesn't disarm in this damn thing. Some more farms down below. Some irrigated farms. Fancy farmers. So the airport should be off the right wing currently. Where is the airport? Can't see it. Yeah, not making it out of this distance. Some more irrigated fields though. Flaps 5. Tried flight sim again the other day, instantly alter forward and take off. The plane wouldn't shut up. You probably did something wrong then. Kept making beeping noise. Was it by any chance a 737? If so, that was the takeoff inhibit alarm. And it meant that you had some parameter of your takeoff set incorrectly. And as a wild guess, I'm going to guess it was flaps. Or did you hit the speed brake armed? Either bank angle or constant... You were stalling it. It was giving you bank angle warnings because you were pushing your luck a bit with the... hang on a sec. Bring this over here. Pushing your luck a bit with the angle you were trying to get it to. Or you were straight up stalling the plane. Is it 30 blue? Wait, you were trying to bring... Yeah, you were stalling it if you're trying to climb at 30 degrees. You don't really exceed 15 unless you're trying to do something incredibly silly. I never checked my landing references. Go flaps 30 again. Just for ease. Flaps 50 go. This thing only goes to 30. If I was flying a glider, I could go flaps -1. Also, I think flaps 50 would actually just straight up stall the plane. Yeah, you can get negative flaps in a glider because the negative flaps actually produce more... Is it more lift or more the negative flaps on a glider are to help it land and to bleed off speed, so you'll sometimes want to put negative flaps in. Just acts as a speed brake. Airport should be off the right wing and I can't see... Oh no, I do see it. There's the airport. It is looking a bit barren though. Some next level of the game this is, you wouldn't even know where to start. With this switch here, the battery switch. It takes a bit of time getting used to flight sims though, rather than. But honestly, like once... The worst part is learning the initial we'll say 20%. The other 80 is super simple. I want to establish on the approach, which I will need to input because this thing is a bit weird. I should be at 3,000 where? SS502, where's 0050? So there's where I need to be at 3,000. And why are we offset? Oh, there we go. Let's go flaps 10 now. I see the airport as well. And we'll go gear down. Probably safer. This won't be as bad as my first landing, where it just screwed up an ILS so badly that I had to take manual control. Should have gone around, but oh well. There we go. Look at that. That is a noble angle of attack. The plane's pointing upwards but going downwards. .1000 will arm approach now. We will not arm approach. We'll keep LNAV and VNAV. Why are you not letting me put VNAV back on? Oh, because it's actually registering that as a localizer, I guess? My landing in 13 minutes. Try less than 10. Where are we landing? We are landing in Khartoum in Sudan. This is ETA 1342 Zulu. We're currently at 1338 Zulu. Also, my ETA shouldn't be in local time. Hang on. How do I change this? Flight data. Don't use simulator time. There we go. I fixed it. Looks like I'm super low. I'm actually coming in small but low, I guess. Go flaps 20. Once I can see the poppies, then I'll be happy to take manual control. Yeah, I'm a small bit low. I've got 3 red. So yeah, as they get destroyed. I mean, a plane crashing would be the least of their issues, considering This is the capital of Sudan, where there hasn't exactly been peace and quiet for a long ass time. Okay. I just want to verify that we have no traffic. As a factor, we have no traffic as a factor. We're taking the runway. So we're going to level off here briefly at 3,000 feet. And then we got the glide slope in. We are fully established. Flaps 30. Flaps 30. Take out auto throttle. My airplane. Oh, I won't screw up now.
Approaching 3-6.
500. Minimums.
Continue.
400. 300.
Is that a giant bump on the runway?
400.
What the hell?
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, I may have screwed it up slightly. It's fine. Not even sure how I screwed that up. We're on the ground. Yes, I'm aware we've reached the end of the route because we're in the airport. That was the beeping noise. That was a caution. Or a master caution. Why is it saying there's a gear issue? It should not be claiming a gear issue. Gears are fine. Gears broken after the bounce is distinctly possible. We'll take, any restrictions on where I can park here? I mean, this looks to be a cargo apron to me. Replay, I'll do a replay once we stopped up and I've logged off VATSIM. As a late turn, that was actually bang on time. Perfect. Parking brake can go on. APU can go on like that. Yes, I am aware that all of the engine stuff is now dead. That's fine. That's intentional. Let me log off VATSIM and we'll get a replay of the landing. Replay mode, and we should just need to skip back to about there. Oh, we're miles away yet. Zip forward and we'll see where I went wrong. See, that's all fine so far. What went wrong then? I think it was just late flare and then over flare. Yeah. I just didn't give the plane enough time to slow down.
Sync rate, 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 sync rate.
To be fair, I actually touched down at minus 800, but that was still absolutely terrible. Hang on a second. Not only did I bounce, we had a wing strike. Oh, that is a truly atrocious landing. And then the nose just started bouncing its way down the runway as well.
Very nice.
Then I turned way early. That turn was better. The flare side. Yeah, I wasn't flared enough on the actual approach, so I had to over flare on landing, and that just led to problem after problem. The actual parking job I did wasn't bad. But that is going to do it for today. We've crossed another 2 airports off our list. I'll be back next week with a trip to Egypt, to Cairo. Oh, we're flying to that airport? Oh, that's going to be a very fun approach if we're going from... Is it the south? Is it the south or the north that I want to be trying to approach from? It looks like the south is the fun approach. Yeah, the south approach looks to be the fun one. With the interesting sights to be seen. But that is going to do it for today. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow with some farm sim multiplayer, I think. Good thing it was a cargo flight. I know, squawking. That was... Oh, that was a terrible landing. I'll be back tomorrow with farm sim, probably multiplayer. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.